Hello, buddy. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today we're going to be starting a brand new campaign for Alith Anar for Total War Warhammer 2. We're going to be using the SFO mod. So this is about mid-January 2020 if you're watching this in the future. Let's go ahead and get in here.
I fight for
So this is during the Skaven Lord and the Dark Elf Lord Malice, and blanking out on the Skaven Lord's name, but Malice and the Skaven guy is the most recent DLC that this is coming out in. And I appreciate everybody being a little patient with me too on the channel. I know I haven't released any new content in just a couple of weeks or so while I got everything sorted with classes starting back up and all of that, but we are back. I'm going to start releasing daily content from here on out. Okay, so Alith Anar. So this is a donation also from MA45042. So thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. If anyone out there would like to donate for a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Right now it's just $30 for about 15 episodes. And usually episodes are like 45 minutes to an hour long. But email me first just to see, because we have this one that we have to complete right now, and then after this one we're going to do the next person who donated gave us a couple of options between a couple of different Lizardmen people and the Fey Enchantress for Bretonia. He said I could choose, so I'm kind of leaning towards Fey Enchantress, but we'll see. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think he said Cult of Sotek, the Flying Guy, Tiktakwo, sorry if I'm butchering that, or the Fey Enchantress. But anyways, right now we're doing Alith Anar. So with Alith, he's one of the more unusual High Elf Lords. He does start outside of Ulthuan over here, kind of near where all the Dark Elves are. And one thing that's really annoying that you'll see as we get in there is that Ulthuan is actually yellow territory for him, which means that it's going to be a lot more difficult to control it in terms of public order if we ever do confederate with anything over there. And it gives you a lot less money, and the buildings cost a lot more. It's just a real pest that Ulthuan is yellow for him. However, he can get up here, and Wasteland is habitable, so he can take over some of the desert area and some of the frozen waste area. So he has a couple more options, but the fact that the Elven homeland with all sorts of really good resources on it for High Elves is more difficult to occupy is tricky. Or if we just go over there and fight them and take it, then it still is going to be difficult. So he specializes in these Shadow Walkers. They're still really expensive for what they are. We'll talk about them more as we get in there a little bit, but basically they are like a dual long range / like ambush type of unit, but they're really, really expensive. They do have nice stats on them, the 41 missile damage, and then in combat the 50 melee attack, so they are pretty good in that sense, but the main issue is they have such low armor and such low HP that it's going to be very difficult for them to go toe-to-toe with a lot of the infantry out there. So having a couple of them sprinkled in the army can be pretty good. They do give out this aura for the extra 5 melee attack. They are pretty good in ambushes, but I think the Lothar Sea Guard are probably going to be a lot stronger and more cost efficient pound for pound. He does get an extra 25% ambush chance, which is really nice. And one unique thing about him is kind of like the Skaven. When he attacks, he gets a chance to ambush on attack. So he can actually offensively ambush, which is really, really nice positionally. So that helps make up for some of the other deficiencies that he has in his start position in his rosters. Now, he does get plus 10 melee attack on ambushes as well. But if you're ever defending, you get minus 5 melee defense. So you want to be on the offense as much as you can. And he does have this other mechanic where you mark certain units for death, and then if you go kill those units, you get little bonuses. So it just encourages you to hunt down and try to kill certain lords, some of which are attainable, and some of which are just on the other side of the world, and you're never going to get them. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and get in here. Legendary, very hard, of course. Let's go. Now, this was the patch in the main game that increased the or decreased, rather, I should say, the in-turn timer. So it goes much, much faster, which is really nice. So that you can just crank out those turns a lot better. So that is pretty handy. I don't think there have been that many other differences. They did change a lot of stuff with SFO on this patch. They said they nerfed magic quite a bit. I haven't seen that yet. Sometimes the tooltips aren't accurate. So we'll just see. I know they nerfed magic back in like November or October as well, back when they did one of their updates. So they've nerfed magic quite a bit, which, I mean, they think that magic's really
Alith
overpowered.
Your
Some of it is, but some things they were nerfing really didn't need to be nerfed. But we'll get to magic later on when we can actually hire some mages. He doesn't start off with anyone that can use magic also, which is kind of a knock against him. Whereas some of the other
Alith Anar.
lords either can use magic, like Teclis or
revenge.
Alariel, but some, but he can't.
My
Okay.
realm.
Let's go ahead and we'll just take Bleak Fortress here real quick.
Attack now.
Pretty simple one. Just auto-resolve that, and then we'll talk about some more
Time
of the
for blood.
mechanics.
Your king calls. It's war.
Yeah, we're going to replenish most of that in one turn, so we'll just go ahead and do that. Should be pretty simple.
Channel its
Occupy.
riches
We don't want to damage the buildings. It's going to cost us more to repair it. Now, there are certain bonuses you can get with him which increase your sack bonus, and so it is worth considering sacks with High Elves, or with him specifically because he gets bonuses, but
There's prey.
he does some kind of like more questionable, dubious things than some of the other High Elves. Like, he gets bonuses to raiding and bonuses to sacking, but it costs you public order with, or not public order, but diplomatic relations with High Elves if you do that. Okay, so we just want to go Inspiring Presence and Bowmaster. This is very, very good. High Elves have some of the best archers in the game, which you would expect anything that's an elf to have a good archer. But they're known for having really long range and really really accurate shots and having quite a bit of ammo. Versus like the Dark Elves are shorter range with their crossbows, but they have heavy armor piercing. So this is kind of what the High Elves are known for. And then the Wood Elves probably have the best archers in the game. I don't know. It's close between the Way Watchers and the Sisters of Avalorn. Way Watchers being the Wood Elf, Sisters being the High Elf. They're both really good. But their units, their elves, are a lot more expensive. They tend to have less armor and less HP overall. But they can fire while running away, several of them. And they have a more diverse suite of archers. But either way, High Elves are definitely up there. And one unique thing that they have are these Lothern Sea Guard, which I'll pull out. And this is kind of the backbone of almost any High Elf army, because they're just so strong in the mid-game. You've got these things. The thing that sets them apart is they are spear, like they're dual infantry that are both spear and missile infantry. So they have pretty respectable missile damage at 27, and they get a bonus versus large, so if they're shooting like horses or dragons or whatever, they get plus 10. Pretty good ammo at 26, okay range at 160, and then they can break out their spears. If they get into melee combat, they get plus 20 versus large. So this is really nice because one of the traditional weaknesses of archers obviously is cavalry, right? If cavalry comes in and flanks and ties up your archers, you're in big trouble most of the time. However, the Sea Guard, not so much, because they get that plus 20 versus large, which will give them 55 weapon strength and 48 melee attack. And then they also have the Martial Prowess, which gives 12 melee defense and plus 2 melee attack. So they turn into basically 48 melee attack, 50 defense, and 55 weapon strength against cavalry, which is really, really good. So it is very difficult to figure out how to deal with these. And they also have Silver Shields, which is going to block 65% of all small arm fire. So other crossbowmen. So those match up really well against a lot of the Dark Elf units early on. So they just have really good matchups against almost everything. They're just a very, very good all-around unit, and they're not that expensive. At 256 is still pretty reasonable, and they have a lot of different upgrades you can get for them as well. So they give out this bonus also, which gives extra accuracy and reload skill. Some of those buffs I was talking about, if we just get really quick into text, and then we'll keep moving. You can get Naval Discipline, which gives leadership and melee defense, plus 2 ranks for them. This gives weapon strength for Sea Guard if you get those. Then you can also get Precise Fletching, which is more ammo and missile damage for Sea Guard. Light armor, more armor for Sea Guard. And this affects other units too, but I just want you to see a theme that, like, everything buffs the Sea Guard hardly. Upkeep production for Sea Guard. And then if we get into Lord skills, This Bowmaster gives ammo and reload time for Seaguard, and Militia Master also gives plus melee attack and melee defense for Seaguard. So unless you didn't hear it correctly, Seaguard, 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 everything. It's like 6 different upgrades for Seaguard. So those things become really, really powerful for the money that you pay for them. So that's going to be the backbone of our army. We'll have some just normal spearmen, just because they have more HP on that front line. I believe they have more. I mean, they're definitely cheaper than Seaguard are. So if you look here, yeah, they have 13,000 versus the Seaguard only have 11,000. Although it's close, like you could definitely make an argument to just run an all Seaguard army and not even worry about the spearmen, because they're gonna have the same upgrades. What's this? 28, 38, 32, 33. So. It's close. That's 66 melee attack and defense combined, and this is 65. How much bonus do they get versus large? They only get 15 versus large, 35 attack with 15 versus large. These have 35 attack with 20 versus large. These do cost like 20% less, but I mean, honestly, like, you could make an argument just to not even run a spear line anymore and just run like all Seaguard instead, because they get so many of those other bonuses to go with it. These do, you still want like 1 or 2 of these, I guess, because you do get that aura for them. And they do get 5% physical resist. But yeah, I mean, if you're rich, getting all those Seaguard bonuses, maybe you just run like 1,000,000 Seaguard. But yeah. So that's what we're going to be going for early. Also, you don't have to have any militia camps. As long as you have a port somewhere, then you can still hire the Seaguard, which is really handy, so you don't have to upgrade this stuff. Now, these guys, like I said, are okay, but they're 368 upkeep versus these only being 256. And they take 2 turns to hire. As you can see, their armor's really low. And they do have nice melee attack defense. You know, they're pretty good in combat. They don't get a bonus versus large, though. So they're good. I mean, the main thing is just that it takes 2 turns to hire them. You have to have this special building, and you can't hire anything else. Or, like, you don't have any more building space. And building space is definitely at a premium here because you only have 2 slots because you have a port. And it's just a dinky little secondary town, so we're going to get Reaver patrols just so we can get this, as far as our right, just so we can get this assassin. Who are our marks? Okay, Lokir Fellheart's too far away. This guy we're probably just going to kill anyways. We might be able to kill this dude. We'll see. But yeah, if you kill these guys, you get different bonuses. Okay. So we've got that. I guess we'll go ahead and hire. These are so expensive, but I guess we'll go ahead and get 2 of those. The 1 spearman. I don't think we can lower our hiring costs, can we? We can get ranks and building reduction, but we can't lower our cost on units, so very, very expensive. Okay, but that's what we're working with there, and then
Lady of Ulthorn.
they've got aversion to us now, so
Welcome.
they made it a lot harder to confederate. What?
Never.
Protector, behold
Okay.
the majesty of the Phoenix Corp. Now, very well.
Okay, good old trade agreement going with them.
Unwise.
Need as much money as we can get. Public order, ironically, is actually kind of challenging early on too.
The merit, as you say. Never.
And I think just in general with the public order and stuff, they made it a lot harder
Give the
to
word. Make your petition and leave this place.
get confederations, which is probably fair because once you start snowballing confederations, it's pretty much lights out.
I've been looking
as Elves. It's a little bit harder to manage, like I said, with Alith Anar, just because this is all yellow territory. This right here is actually green, but most of the island is yellow, which is rough. So the penalties on yellow here are -1 public order, 25% building costs, casualty replenishment, construction cost are all much, much higher for each region that's like that.
The Asa bids you
Okay.
welcome.
I think that will do it. Yeah, we'll hold on to these for a couple of turns, and we're going to sell these and put something else there. So we want to go north here and try to finish off our main dude. You start to spread yourself kind of thin, Bleak Holds. You kind of start to spread yourself a little bit thin, though, because Marathi starts coming for you as well. But if you don't go for Bleak Holds early on, then they're going to come for you, so that can be pretty annoying. Okay, so this guy got killed. I'm not going to summon the assassin dude yet because Lokir... The thing is, it costs... It's like you get a cool reward, but it costs 2,500 up front. And then the unit itself, as long as it stays on the battlefield, that assassin, is like 350 gold per turn. So if I hire it and then try to run all the way down here to where he starts at the Volcanic Islands, that's going to take like 15 turns or something maybe. I may not even make it in time for the countdown. But if he goes for even 10 turns, which it's going to take longer than that, that's going to be 3,500 gold and then 2,500 to hire. So that's 6,000 gold just to even get down there maybe and get him on time. So I do get paid that amount, and I would get like influence, which is really strong, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I could do it. It's so expensive, and I'm just so strapped for cash. But I guess if I do land that assassination, maybe it's worth. Let's see, how long would it realistically take me? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably would take about 10 turns. But I guess getting the, I will get paid back, and getting the influence would be nice. I guess we'll do it. It's so expensive, but the influence is kind of clutch to make sure that you get some good lords and good. It's almost 400 per. Where's Murderous Dance? Let me see. We'll probably kill this guy naturally. We could send him north. Okay, high elves and campaign movement range. Okay. We could send him north and get that assassination up there, but it's likely we're going to be able to kill him anyways. Okay, so we'll wait one more turn.
You need me? Welcome. Your words and deeds will be ridiculous.
Safri does not like us.
Tyrion.
Well, they're alright with us.
What do you wish to discuss? Absolutely not.
Skeggy doesn't like us. Valyrian's coming around. We have affinity with them, which is pretty nice.
Welcome. Time is precious, so please make your request. Wise indeed.
We can't trade with them, though. Maybe that was a bad idea. To get an on-aggro with them. Okay, so we can't move yet because it takes 2 turns to hire these things.
So shall I.
Hiring 2 of them might have been a little much. I don't know. And public order is difficult to manage, so at some point we're gonna have to. Oh, dang it. Okay, no, that's okay. I still have one more turn. I need to move to get the building cost reduction at 20% with one of the provincial edicts here in a second. Okay, we'll do faction-wide caps recommended. So that just like caps some of your larger units, like your dragons and things like that, how many you can have in your army. So it just adds a couple of extra restrictions. You can choose to have that on or have that off if you want to. Alright, and I guess let's go ahead and send this guy on a mission down south. Oh my god, is that really as far as he can go? Surely he can go further than that. Okay. Okay, So this is gonna be 1, 2, 4. It's gonna be a lot. I'm pretty sure that's where he is, right? I mean, let me just... Yes. It's like, I better double check that, but yeah, that's where he is. Like, 99% sure. Okay. So yeah, that's an investment. It's gonna eat up a lot of my gold early on, but... Dude, if I get all the way down there and he dies or something, just like this guy did, I'm gonna be sad.
Not one
Okay,
rookie on
so I
Nagarythe.
guess we'll walk up to here.
There is only vengeance.
Okay, so it'll give us 6 archers. Kind of regretting that. I feel like that's a little much. But maybe not. Okay, so we need to change this over to
We are ill at ease.
construction costs. We're gonna delete both of these. Throw down something more useful. We'll probably just throw down like some growth buildings just to just because I'm gonna have to take off these taxes soon, which is gonna severely limit my money. But if I get this money building, it's not gonna do anything. I guess we can trade the elven trinkets, which are worth... Are they worth 20 each still? Or do they nerf those? They're worth 18 each. So that's still 90 gold a turn. With my trade partner. So maybe we keep that on anyways.
When Loic dances, so shall I.
Okay. Alright, and like the main reason this just costs a lot of money to upgrade this. I'm not gonna get this to tier 3 anytime soon. I could put one here, but still don't think it's worth. Like what we're trying to go for here is get up to tier 3 with this, and then go for a mage, and then that will unlock military advancements too. Military advancements 1 requires this building, but I really don't want to spend 4,000 gold just to do that because I don't need any of these units. Like, getting the heavy arrowheads is nice. That does, it's like more penetration, but realistically, I just want the Sea Guard. And this port will give me the Sea Guard anyways. So I just want to try to get to Elven Colony, Harbor, and Archive so that we can get some mages going. We can get a mage going with some magic. Even if it's nerfed, some magic's better than no magic, so we'll have to investigate that when we get there. Okay, so we're gonna hire a little bit more, then we're gonna come up there and go for a fight.
How can I assist? I bid you welcome in the name of the king. Unwise.
Still haven't seen like a warrior or
Alariel's
anybody.
sons of Alfwan. What brings you here? Not possible.
Oh, there's Alorn.
Alariel, the true of heart, always find a serving the gods.
No.
Obviously, the most important people that I want to befriend are Alariel and Tyrion, because those are the legendary lords.
Where next? Approach. What is your business here?
Where are they? These guys are way down here, I think.
Proceed.
Yeah, I'll trade with them. Lizardmen are probably not gonna like that too much, but okay. Gotta watch out for Marathi backdooring me. She might if I go up here too far. This is gonna get a little weird here in a second. Beastmen, yeah, I'll allow Beastmen. It's kind of annoying, but it does keep them relevant in the game.
Come, Shadow Warriors.
Short sight.
So we'll see if this guy wants to
Silent attack.
come through here in a second. Okay, so I guess we will just go ahead and go for these since we can trade them. So we can sell, or we can create it right now, and then if we need to sell it later, you get, I think, like 60% back. So basically, if we can keep these around for even like 3 or 4 turns, it's worth it even if you delete it in the future. Like if we have to delete it to make space for the mage or the archive or whatever, that's nice. Also, not building this, not only does it save you gold, but it saves you a slot so that you can build something else. There aren't too many awesome things to build. These gate guard guys are pretty good. They are expensive too, but they're basically just like upgraded sea guard. But the thing is, I don't think they get all the same bonuses that sea guard get. So I think the sea guard are just better. Now these guys do have a lot more armor, which is really nice, and they do have this bolstered marksmanship. So maybe they're okay at some point, but they're kind of just this isolated building, which really doesn't do that much all by themselves. So you don't really probably want them. I think on the main island, those gates that you have that block off kind of the mountains from the interior, or use the mountains to block the interior, I think you can build them there without the funky building. So I think they're useful in that situation, but if you have to build your own special building for them, they're probably not worth. I think they're also capped, although I'm not 100% about that. Okay, anyways. Alright, so they might ambush us here in a second. This guy still has his directions. Yep. He's going to be going down here. I'm wondering if it might actually be faster just to run over land down here, but I doubt it. Usually traveling by sea is faster. So it is a little more circuitous. We do have to run around. I wonder though, like, is it faster to just run straight through this down here? Because you have to go through rough terrain. I guess we'll just stay the course. Okay. Moving that. Already looked at everything else. Okay, we're not going to need any construction stuff next turn. So what do we want? Just growth? Trade income? Growth, I suppose. Okay, come on. Dude, move. Why is this moving so slowly? Change that movement speed. Oh, I forgot. She gets a hero. I was like, why does she have what looks like a green knight there? Okay, so he's coming in. Okay, so we do get an ambush here. Leadership for flying units, whatever. Okay,
time for battle.
So you're in kind of a weird spot early on where we only have 2 normal archers. Okay. I'm trying to remember. I think I did like a few turns of a practice run a little bit ago. I guess, I mean, these do almost double damage of the normal archers, so. And they do have poison. They're obviously better in hand-to-hand combat. I mean, they're good units. It's just the question is not are they good. The question is, are they too expensive, really? Okay, this is a different layout. One that I attacked on earlier. Actually, no, it's not. Okay. So we want to try to bait. I hate firing into... like their shields, but... I want to try to get the cavalry to come over here before the rest of their units catch up. Now, one thing that is kind of weird is that, like, these can't vanguard, which is like, what kind of, like, range unit can't vanguard? It just seems a little weird to me, but, you know, maybe we just start over here.
Without fail.
Loyal!
Archers!
I guess we could still shoot the horses from here. Just the problem is they're going to be able to swarm us a little bit more. I just don't want to shoot them in the front because they do have shields. Let's just put like 2 of those over here, 1 of those over here.
Curse all Druki!
Let's get the birds up here just to kind of freak them out a little bit. Run circles around them.
For duty!
It will be done.
Orders received.
Oh, let's make those.
It shall be done.
Actually, no, that's fine.
Acknowledged. To battle.
Glory awaits.
Spearmen! Onward! Setting forth!
So we're just kind of circling them here.
It will be done.
By your command.
Just trying to get them. Trying to soak a lot of their shots there.
Acknowledged. Defending order.
Ancestors! As you say, without fail. Loyal, serve the king. Understood.
It shall be done. For order.
My duty. Tireless. At once. Loic's curse. Vengeance. I give the orders. Archers.
We go!
Loic's champion.
For duty!
Without fail. Kill them.
We will obey. Kill them.
Assyrian guides us! Move!
It will be done. Shadow dancer. Shadow march. As you say.
Acknowledged! Seal! Serve the king! Orders received. Apace!
For the Shadowlands. Forward. Glory awaits. Stalk.
Acknowledged.
Archers. Orifare.
Defending order!
For Old One.
We will obey. Ancestors.
Archers.
Let's do in position over here to shoot him in the back.
For our ancestors! Eurifare!
It is done. Onward. Going forth. My duty. No mercy. Advance. Striking forth. For duty.
March.
Asa, move! It shall be done. For Oakland!
Alith Anar. Understood.
Eurifare.
Alith Anar. Victory awaits.
For the king. Can I be praised?
Sundered. I go.
Without fail. To the fray!
Our strength is waning. For order. Loyal. Forward.
Asa, advance. It shall be done.
Agreed. With me. I give the orders.
Understood. For duty.
Orders received. It will be done. I shall. Immediately. Onward. I give the orders.
Onward! Swiftly! It shall be done.
See, look, just even against like basic
It shall be
spears,
done.
these guys are taking like quite a bit of damage in melee combat. Even though they're supposed to be like, you know, pretty good, it's just The lack of armor and melee defense just
Assyrian
really
guides
sort of
us.
sets them up.
Quickly now! Attack!
We just want to try to kill as many as we can while we're running them down here.
Tireless!
Loyal! Forward! Loyal!
Loyal! Advance!
So let's see here. So they have about 70 kills each. I mean, these have 95 and 55, so it's about the same amount of kills, you know, when it comes down to it. So it's like, yeah, they have a little bit of utility, but is it enough to justify the 50% extra cost, even with the discount from Alith Anar getting 50% off of them? It's still like, you know, they just don't put up the numbers. And those aren't even Sea Guard. These are just, you know, normal High Elf archers. Sea Guard are even better. Sea Guard are more expensive, but so they're all right, but they're also out of ammo too. I think they have less ammo starting than
Spearmen!
normal archers do.
Advance!
They don't have as many. The upgrades don't apply to them as much. So, like, they're cool units. It's just it's not as efficient as some of the other options out there.
To battle! Forward! Very well! Seal!
Okay, let's speed this up a little bit here. High Elves do have nice, like, a pretty good suite of units. I mean, I think they're one of the stronger factions in the game, probably. They're sort of a well-rounded... Well, early on, like, they have a nice package of, like, spears and archers, and then later on, they have some of the best beasts with the dragons. The Swordmasters of Hoeth are really good. So they have some pretty good beasts late game, too. And the Sisters of Avalorn are some of the best archers late game, so High Elves are definitely definitely a strong faction. They don't have any swords early, so they can get busted up if the enemy has like really good melee stuff. But they do have a lot of anti-large between the spears and the swordmasters. They don't have any like primetime halberds early on. You don't until you get to your forgot the Phoenix Guard at tier 5. So, you know, against some large units, maybe they would have some problems. But the Sea Guard, I mean, they get plus 20, which is a lot. Like, a lot of halberds are also plus 20. Halberds tend to have better armor piercing, and they have more, like, melee range. They usually have a range of 2 rather than 1. But overall, they're it's a pretty solid, well-rounded faction. Their sieging's not amazing. I don't think they have anything that cracks walls, which is kind of annoying.
It's easier just to release them.
I think we gotta go for the
Do
money,
not
though. It
bog
does
me
hurt our
down with
diplomacy with elves. So they've made it a lot of the stuff you want to do, like the diplomacy with elves and some other things, like create some problems, but some diplomatic problems. So the Iron Curse thing is pretty bad. Rumors are false. So we'll have if the humans want to fight with each other, they can. Okay, so we killed Ixarian. We got Murderous Dance. So that is going to help us out a little bit, offset some things. Okay, and we did get some influence points. Now, influence,
We are ill at ease.
if you click on that, you can, like, improve your relations with different factions with that. So that is really handy for trying to eventually confederate with people. But you also
Order
want to
must be
save your
maintained.
influence because, like, your basic lords are not that great, but you can spend influence to get better ones. So these usually have a bad trait. But if you spend 15, you get like an okay trait. Ambush success chance. You know, respectful. So you get some okay stuff. Then if you really start cranking up here, then this is where you start getting the nice stuff. Like plus 20% missile damage for pretty much all of your ranged units. That's pretty good. Minus 30% for Silver Helms and Reavers. That's not that great. that's not that impressive either. But there are some of them that are good. Minus 20% for dragons and recruitment for dragons. Obviously doesn't matter early, but later on could be good. So these are some okay things. And all of the heroes are like that. So like the sorceresses, the other guys, you know, they all have certain traits you can get that are good if you pay more money or if you pay some influence for it. Okay, so they have another lord here they're trying to hire up. Starts rank 8 because it's SFO on legendary. Doesn't have any character skills yet though, so that's
Burden
good.
of the Shadowlands.
So we're gonna, I think, just keep going Bowmaster. I think, let me, okay, yeah, we have the range to attack that in one turn. Okay, let's just do that. So Bowmaster, how are we looking on time? We're at like 40 minutes. I'm gonna try to like crank through these a bit faster than I have in the past, but I also want to make sure that I'm explaining stuff and not like messing anything up. When I did this in the practice, I was able to get a siege tower. It gave me 7s. I'm not sure what determines the labor force, but they might sally out on us. I guess we're gonna have to go with that.
Back to Shadow. No mercy.
So they might sally out on us and fight us in the open field. We'll see.
It's war.
I would really like to get the you can get the Eagle Claw at tier 2 now, but it's 5,000 gold. So you can get that down to 4,000 with the 20% reduction. That's still super expensive. But yeah, the Eagle Claw bolt throwers are very nice against Dark Elves. They're just good in general. They allow you to siege, and they're just great against infantry.
The people are restive.
Clumped up. Relatively low HP infantry.
Fall in, men! My time is finite, but I'll spare some for you.
Get trade with anyone else reputable.
At your service. I will weigh what you have to say and the merit of your absolutely not.
Mistress of the I am the bright flower of the goddess.
No.
If stuff starts going down on that island, which it probably will, I'm going to be siding with... My priority is Tyrion and then her. Everyone else can... I'll kill them if they want me to.
You must restore order.
I wish they had a public order thing, but they don't.
To me, Shadow
How much are we
Warriors.
getting from trade right now? We're about to get some more here in a second. So 10% is only like 30 gold. I think we just keep the growth.
Our oath.
Okay, sieging that. Can't do any more here. Have to have 3 settlements for that one, so that's not gonna matter. Rank 5 for this one. That can be pretty good. Basically, you're buying 25 influence and 25 public order. Like, that one's alright.
Nagaroth vengeance.
This could be a kind of a tough fight here. That sucks. This is the other end of the universe. Like, sometimes they give you, like, Marathi or, the orange guys at the top of Ulthuan. Okay, so they are going to sally out on us. Okay, so this is probably going to be a bit of a tricky fight, but we'll go ahead and do it. We got a double fight here in this first episode. And I'm going to try to speed it up, like I said. Move a little faster. I'm trying to still explain strategy, you know, what I'm going to be doing, what I think is optimal, different options if you want to try it in a different way. But still move it along. Gotten through 5 or 6 turns on the first episode. It's not that bad. Now, ideally, if you do attack with these guys, you would want the enemy to already be engaged in combat, and you want to be flanking.
Alith Anar.
Can't believe these guys can't... Okay, he can stalk. Can these guys stalk too?
As you say.
Yeah, okay, so maybe they just they don't let you stalk on ambushes? Or they don't let you stalk past the yellow line. Okay, so they do have stalk.
Understood.
I don't know, maybe I was just looking at it wrong.
Understood.
Archers.
Should make these a 3 group.
We will obey.
I feel like most flying units should have stalk, but maybe that would make them OP. Now, these eagles are a bit better than they used to be because there's 3 of them now instead of just 1. It used to just be 1 with a lot of HP, and they just really couldn't, like, do that much. But now that there's 3 of them, they actually put down some decent damage against infantry. You still don't want them to get bogged down. Definitely not bogged down against spears, but...
We go! Immediately! I'll show them!
Whoa. God, they are melting him.
Archers! Moving out! Move!
Onward!
Summon this. It's like a copy of yourself you can throw out there to just kind of fake them out a little bit.
Archers!
It doesn't do damage. You can upgrade it to where it actually does some damage.
Advance!
By Alariel!
Tireless!
So we've got some pretty good high ground here.
Assyrian
Insert Star
willing.
Wars joke.
Asa, forward!
Forward! Striking forth! Yes!
Orders received. It will be done.
Understood! Advance!
To battle!
We go.
So again, we're just gonna try to just harass them a little bit.
Attack!
Gotta get those Dark Riders out of there.
The Shadow King!
Oh, okay, I guess it only lasts for a limited amount of time. Makes sense.
We away. Defenders of order.
Whoa, 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 what did I just click on? No, 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 no. What? Did I misclick?
Quickly
I
now.
thought I had the bird selected.
For duty.
Archers! Loyal! It shall be done!
We advance.
By your command! I go! Stalk! Glory awaits!
Spearman.
To battle! It shall be done!
Scion of Anarian!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I
Damn
am
it, they rallied back.
Ancestors!
Spearman!
Without fail.
God, that's really annoying. Alright, kill them. Do not let them rally back. Oh my god, that charge is devastating.
Going forth! Alith Anar! Agreed! Shadow march! My duty!
Archers! To the fray! At once!
Okay, good.
Alith Anar! No mercy!
This is really just like getting all of them to run. It's pretty nice. Freaking them out because they're all in skirmish mode.
Loyal!
It shall be done. Setting forth. Yes.
Orders received!
Orders received! Can I be praised?
Acknowledged. Death to all.
Die, true king!
For duty! Serve the king! Alith Anar! With me!
Orders received. Ancestors.
I go! It will be done! For the king! Nagareth! Advance! We will obey!
Quickly now! Yes! Asa, forward!
For duty. Assyrian guides us. Move. Sinner!
Shadow Dancer! Stalk! Tireless! Forward! Battle awaits!
For Assyrian!
Asa attack! For the Ever Queen!
It will be done! At once!
Without fail! Death to all!
Acknowledged! Loyal! Alith Anar! To glory! Glory awaits! I give the orders!
As you say!
Alith Anar! Onward! Striking forth! Going forth!
Alright.
Warden of Shadow! Shadow March!
Sinner! For duty! March!
They can fire while moving, so
With me!
Acknowledge!
try to just fire at them while you're moving.
Asa, move! We away!
At least in theory, they should be able to fire while moving. Yeah, there you go. Some of them are, yeah, there they go. Okay, they're gonna make it out. Alright, not bad. They'll probably say close battle. It wasn't that close. I don't think. They had like almost 4 times the casualties. And we deployed like 30% less than they did. The bird really was kind of the MVP there. And he just tied up all their archers because all their archers were in skirmish mode. They don't have those Lothern Sea Guard. If they had Sea Guard, my Eagles would have been in trouble. But because they just had the normal Dark Elf archers, they're terrible in melee combat. We're able to tear them up. Now the ambushers did fare a little bit better in that one than the archers did. We'll see. That charge from those horses that rallied, they didn't kill anything, technically, but it was like very disruptive.
They belong to me now.
We will not beg.
Do not bog me down
Yeah, I
with
don't want to
captives.
do that. 'Cause that's just gonna,
A wise
I
decision!
mean, it's just not worth it. We'll just go with this, I think.
My kindred's embrace. I despise weakness, and yet you are surrounded by it.
No. Now, if you're fighting vampire counts and you kill them, then they all die, like, and you get to take it for free during their turn. That's happened before in my some of my vampire campaigns. But time of prosperity, okay, we get stability, sure. And these guys will start coming for me soon, so we got to be a little aware of that. Okay, so we are getting kind of rich here. Okay, so now we do want to go for Militia Master and eventually get loose. But do we have anything that gives extra ambush? Ambush defense. Bonded service is pretty good. Looter. The enemy hero success chance minus 15% is pretty good, so they can't spam heroes on you, but that recruitment reduction is huge too. I think we might go Brute Marcher at this point, just because we do need the movement speed, and then Militia Master.
To
Go
battle.
ahead and see if they'll just let us take this. Come on, make
Time
me fight
for
it.
blood.
Okay, so we might lose a couple of things here.
Your
I really
king
just don't want
calls.
to fight this siege.
It's
I think
war.
we're gonna win anyways. They don't have a lord. They're all banged up. We'll just save a little time. I don't auto-resolve stuff that is actually going to be a real fight, but if it's going to save us 15 minutes in a slaughter, I'm just going to auto-resolve it so we can get on to bigger and better
Sack
fights. Yeah, we'll just occupy. I mean, we could sack,
Leave nothing.
but you have to repair the
Shadow
building.
King
It's
rises.
really not worth sacking, and I don't think, unless it's like a really high-ranking town and you don't need a rank that's that high. So, like, if you're okay with it just being a tier 1 or a tier 2 town. Okay, Invocation of Isha. Okay, it's pretty good. The public order and the influence. We'll probably want to do that. And the diplomacy. So, Hag Hall. The growth is good and everything, but I think we'll just take off. I guess we'll just hold on to that. Yeah, plus 30 growth. I mean, that does let us get Call of the Great Herds, which you can get some of these things down here once you get trade advancements. You need certain resources in order to get these techs, which is kind of cool to hunt those down. So this one is Chariot and Silverhelm. So that's pretty trash. The 5% on Dragon Princes are okay. They did buff Dragon Princes a little bit, I think, recently to make them like more comparable to dragons in terms of power level. At least worth considering. Okay, but there's nothing else really that's going to be worth. However, the only alternative I would put there would probably be Homestead anyways, which is 10 growth, so might as well get to 30 growth so we can level this up. If you do take off taxes in SFO mod, it does give you extra public orders, so 10 public order and 50 growth. So that can be really good, which is something I'm probably going to do down here now as well.
We are ill at ease.
It's not really worth upgrading these secondary towns unless you really need the slot, because you only get 15 more gold for 1,600 cost. The High Elves, believe it or not, have a pretty terrible economy outside of trade. They do get a lot of different benefits to trade, and there are a lot of High Elves in the game, and you can use your influence points to get trade agreements. So through trade resources and ports, they make pretty good money, but like their buildings in and of themselves and their like settlements and stuff are pretty trash in terms of money. So if you don't have a lot of trade partners or you don't have a lot of ports, you can kind of get into trouble. So we're gonna hold on to this, and I think we can afford to just take the money off. So we are gonna lose 900 gold a turn, which sucks, but that does stabilize our public order a little bit, and it is going to give us some growth so we can upgrade that port. And we might even need to put down one of these. That does allow us to recruit spearmen also and normal archers. But we'll see. It does upgrade your tower stuff. I don't know what channeling spire is, but it does give you 5 more archers. So we would have a noble, an eagle, sea guard, archers, yeah. Because I'm afraid that we're going to get backdoored by the Dark Elves if we don't come deal with them soon. So we need to kill Val's Anvil. I guess if we can kill Val's Anvil, then maybe we can run back down south, power up a little bit, and then take on the Dark Elves. And if we can play nice with... I don't know if that's someone's occupying that, if that's Skaven. It's going to be hard to extend up here, though. But we need to get them out of there.
Alith Anar.
Okay, so with him... Okay, we leveled up off of that battle, so I think just double Militia Master. And then go for Loose.
My realm.
Okay, can't hire anything. Might as well, since our replenishment's so low. Just go ahead and
Burn in the
combine those. Save a
Shadowlands.
little money. We'll go ahead and combine these two.
Shadow King.
Once again, just trying to cut cost. Okay. I don't think we have anything that damages walls. I was thinking about the heroes. Like, our only heroes are these. Those don't damage walls. Oh, he does have damage walls. Okay, so we need a War Master of Hoeth. He's very expensive. Very overrated to some extent, but he does damage walls, and that is what we need. So that means you don't have to siege. And like, you can just try to crack walls with the bolt thrower, but it does take a bit more time. It's just a little more like annoying. You kind of do want to be able to damage walls. And he does have some magic. But what is the noble? Has troop replenishment and increase influence is actually kind of important as well. And he does have this bolstered defense, so he's probably worth. He's not that expensive, so we do want to get a noble eventually. That building's pretty trash, but this one is necessary for something or other, cultural advancements. So we'll put that in a big town eventually. Okay. So don't want to upgrade that. Yeah, we'll just keep the growth going.
I serve the king. The Phoenix King is
killing some Dark Elves, boys. Come on.
What would
We're
you
doing
I'm waiting.
Asrai's work. I don't
will
remember who
hold my
they're.
hatred for your
We're
people
doing
for now. Speak your.
The work of the lady.
Let's hear it. You abandon tradition and come crawling.
I was gonna say we're doing God's work, but I don't know who
Guardian
they're.
of the field. What would you ask of the Asa?
I don't know their religion
service.
inside and out.
Welcome, brothers. What do you wish to discuss?
It's because of this. We're a great power. Really? We have like 3 towns.
Queen of Avalon, we have much to discuss. Come, it is forbidden.
Okay. Oh, you get this Imperium thing too, which is something they just added. So like, you get -20 diplomacy with all factions. So we're getting +20 here, but we're getting -20 off of this, and we're getting great power penalty as well, an additional -20. And whenever we like kill people and take gold in combat, that's -10. So they're definitely making it hard on you diplomacy wise. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and end turn, and then that'll be it for this episode. We got 2 fights in there, not too bad. We're kind of moving forward. We're probably gonna get backdoored by Marathi here in a second, so we gotta get ready for that. I gotta figure out a way to speed up this animation. I think I just have to press like this camera thing up here. I keep forgetting to do it though. My faction, Lord's animation speed, fastest. Okay.
You approach a dark throne. I pray you bring only light.
I'm not paying you. Wait, who did we friend? I thought we already friended those guys. Oh, we friended the other ones. Okay. No, I'm not paying you. Raid the following region. Okay.
There is only vengeance.
Balls Anvil, so we should be able to take that one, I think. But anyways, we'll mess with that next turn. Why are we getting corruption? Chaos corruption. They're beastmen? I guess maybe there's beastmen over here. That's annoying. Anyways, we'll get back at it next turn, so thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out a ton. If you'd like to sponsor a campaign yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. I can kind of let you know a timeline on that, and then it's just $30 for 15 episodes right now. Have had a lot of interest. I might eventually have to increase that price, but I'm going to keep it at 30 for 15 for as long as I can. So anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.